Dio versus Alucard. Let's go. Dio might go, even though he's a freak. Let's get it. Holy W. W anime. How's your audio? And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win in a death battle. Let's go. I feel like Dio got this. Very Sigma Skibidi Memes. Holy brain rate. Bro, I love JoJo. It's so good. Dude, I love JoJo. It's so good. Everyone should watch JoJo. If you don't watch JoJo, you're missing out on peak cinema. Absolute peak. Everyone should watch JoJo. It's so good.
Born a penniless street rat with a cunning mind in the slums of Victorian London, Dio was humiliated by his poverty and abused by his alcoholic father.
Sure.
His bitter resentment and small dick energy would lead to a lifelong desire for ultimate power and immortality to reach a place over heaven.
And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy Joestar family.
Joestar. Oh my god. Jonathan Joestar. Yeah. Also, for those of you who haven't watched JoJo, spoilers. Everyone should watch JoJo. It's peak. It ain't that right, Beats.
Jonathan Joestar, aka
JoJo. There's in one episode as someone that turned into a kid. Yeah. Yeah, holy. Jesus, yeah. Dio is an absolute savage, dude. Dio is an absolute demon.
But after years of emotional manipulation, Dio's twisted assassination plot was foiled by his righteous stepbrother.
With help from the interfering Speedwagon.
Speedwagon. I'm not gonna say who though.
An ancient stone mask that turned him into a vampire.
W Speedwagon. My god.
Okay, so he's not technically a vampire like, say, Dracula. Instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations,
making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance.
It gets weirder. Dio can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair follicles.
Yeah, that's some JoJo stuff. Yeah, classic JoJo.
Vaporize the moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky.
Pressurized fluids? Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is Dio's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Another similar vampire, Straight, survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
All Dio needs,
because of course, anime logic, blowing the smither. It's insane though. He has a healing factor on par with friggin' Wolverine. It's insane. The amount of stuff he's been through, just like walks it off. Crazy.
There's some blood to speed up the process, so he is basically a vampire. Though I guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers. Ugh.
Dio used his powers to raise a zombie army to conquer the world and feed a baby to its own mother.
Yeah, that was insane. That was insane. He literally turned the kid's mom into a zombie vampire thing, and then she ate her child. Like, Dio is an absolute savage, bro. Holy.
Just for kicks.
We've had a lot of real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz, but I'm starting to think Dio takes the cake. Luckily, his plans were foiled again by his old frenemy JoJo, who beat Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the sun, Hamon.
Because, should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly disintegrate.
So, what did Dio do? Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to JoJo's body. Wow, cake taken for sure.
After a brief century in a coffin at the bottom of the ocean, Dio resurfaced in Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate
JoJo, it's peak. Everyone watch JoJo. Do it.
Goal was to
You'll
create
thank
a
me
world
later.
where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to eat.
After being struck by a mystical arrow, sure, why not, Dio gained a stand, the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Ow.
I didn't know
Hey,
if you to
look,
watch
Wiz, I got a
JoJo.
stand. I call it 99 bottles. Hold on. Oh, shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your Oh, look, a giant beer.
As befits a god among men, Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history, the world, with its ability to stop time.
Time, huh? Thanks for the... Ow! Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
The world is absurdly strong and fast, able to
Yeah,
match
it's
the stand Star
insane.
Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo. He technically inherited it from Dio through...
Oh my gosh, my goat Jotaro. Oh, my goat. W Star Platinum, W Jotaro. Oh my god, everyone should watch JoJo. It's such a good anime. Absolutely peak, and it only gets better.
through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same stand.
And both are two of the strongest stands out there, just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
By measuring the distance the meteors are from Earth, we can estimate they were moving at over 11 million meters per second. Factoring in their mass, they'd each have a kinetic energy of 441 kilotons of TNT.
Not that crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot.
Wait. So are they about to say that because Star Chariot or whatever Silver Chariot was able to cut light, and because Star Platinum was able to keep up with Silver Chariot, that means he's also just as fast as light? He's fighting at light speed? Like what?
Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own and taken his punches head on.
Yeah, but
Like, what are these calculations?
Dio's secret weapon, the greatest weapon in anime history.
Oh my god,
Steamroller.
I remember this.
Turns out Dio's a hell of a chef. He can make pancakes and donuts.
Even so, despite having a massive god complex, Dio's still a careful tactician capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he wasn't prepared for Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. That's some hardcore karma right there. But it only makes sense that a dog murderer would die like a bitch.
But much like the machinations of great and terrible men, Dio's will was immortal. In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the Joestar bloodline and literally remaking the universe in Dio's image, creating that heaven he always dreamed of.
I guess when you're named after a rock star, a movie star, and, oh, that's right, God, you're pretty much bound for greatness.
You thought your first kiss would be JoJo, but it was I, Dio!
Wait, he has aura. Hold up, wait, okay. I don't know anything about Alucard, but he has aura. He seems cool.
Its origin was
This might be a new anime on our list that we gotta watch. Oh wait, it was like a nullifier. Vampire healing factor. So if he can shoot Dio with those holy bullets, it'll nerf his healing factor.
You just can't kill the sun.
So he can take your soul? That's insane. That's like some what? That's insane. Okay, that seems kind of busted, kind of broken.
Shoot him into Swiss cheese, blow his ass to smithereens, turn him into a literal blood puddle. He'll just regenerate his body lickety-split. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen some overpowered healing factors on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit. Yay, more beer!
Just like me.
What up? Helsing needed a beast as fearsome as Alucard to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like evil.
Excuse me, what? What? Yo, what is this anime, dog? What?
Squared.
Like when Millennium SS
Bro,
Lieutenant
what?
Rip Van Winkle
This is
commandeered a
insane.
British aircraft carrier as part of an invasion of London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknifed it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it struck with a kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the U.S. Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
AKA the mother of all bombs. And Al was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just
Wait, hold on. We gotta run that back. Holy aura farm.
as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic bullets. Comparing the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
My brain is not braining. Yeah, I listen. I'm no mathematician. I don't know how they're doing these goddamn calculations. But I mean, but okay. He said that the bullet was moving at Mach 1,504, right, which is fast as the speed of sound. But they compared the other speed feat with Dio was like faster than light or whatever.
And Alucard caught
I don't
one
know.
with his friggin' teeth. And after giving Rip's name a new meaning, he drove that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind to fight two separate armies at the same time.
I feel like Alucard's gonna. I feel like Alucard's gonna win. Wait a second. Wait a sec. Whoa. The dude in the white hood? Ain't no way. Is that the KKK? Yo, what is this anime, bro? Yo, this is crazy.
What a goddamn monster!
It goes without saying that Alucard's immense power and bloodlust needed to be controlled.
What the
6
fuck?
restriction
Yo.
levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there exists an even greater state of power Alucard can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Once activated, Level 0 releases every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies.
Bro,
All
what?
3 million of them.
Yeah, GG's. Dio is cooked. Dio is cooked. Yeah, Dio ain't surviving that. Dio beat. Dio got mollywopped in a 1v1 against JoJo, who was essentially just. I mean against JoJo, who essentially just copied his stand and beat him up. He ain't surviving all of this, dog. Yeah, Dio might be cooked. He might be cooked. That's insane. He can just release the millions of
With his
souls that he
soul
consumed.
gone,
Like
he can't
what?
heal as easily, and if his heart is destroyed, he'll die permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable. This guy's got to be like the king of all
But
vampires.
Dio can stop time and
Indeed,
hit the Joestar
he is.
technique. I mean, yeah, he can stop time, but like, okay, he can stop time, but it's only for a few seconds. And let's say, like, Dio stopping time and like beating him up a whole bunch, like with the like a whole bunch. Like, is he gonna be able to even do enough damage within that certain time frame where he's able to stop time to be able to actually kill Alucard and like and a bunch of like final blows? You know what I mean? Like, does he have the strength behind all of those punches to actually kill him? I don't think he does because of his regeneration. I don't know. Maybe the stopping time is so slow that he's able to punch him super hard, and because time is stopped and he won't be able to regenerate fast enough to sustain that level of damage. Maybe, hopefully, copium. I want Dio to win because I like JoJo. I don't know. That's probably the best shot he got.
Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards is
Dracula? Yeah, duh, Wiz, idiot.
over 500 years ago. The Wallachian voivode Vlad Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things didn't end up too good for him. Right before his execution, he took a big old sip of some blood from the battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew to despise his monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice. The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's
Wow,
deep, Wiz.
self-
Maybe that's why he
self-hatred,
always lets
man.
his enemies rip into him like a pinata of self-loathing.
Jeez
His crazy OP
Louise.
healing factor will fix everything anyways.
Millennium would exploit this
Yo.
arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrödinger, a
What is-
German cat boy who controls his own quantum state.
What the what? Huh? Wait. Excuse me. What? They have cat, fairy, femboy, Nazis that can. They're like omnipotent, freaking deity. Like, huh? What? Yo, what is this? A fairy femboy. Oh god, yo, what is, bro? Only an anime, bro. Only an anime. Oh, what the hell, bro?
Grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist
What the
everywhere
fuck?
and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al had 3 million souls kicking around in
Only in Japan. Holy.
inside him, Trudy couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how spoopy the threat, Alucard
Wait. He undid his own existence. What? My brain hurts. What the fuck? So he just can't die. Listen, so he's just fucking immortal. Like, what the hell?
Card
What
will
is
show no
this?
mercy.
He's too strong. I
just
think he
waiting for
wins.
the day he
I think
beats a
Alucard
noble
wins.
human warrior strong enough to end his
The
unlife
feats
for
are
good.
stacking up. I think
Should he
JoJo. I
face
mean,
a
I think
fellow
Dio is
monster,
cooked.
a fool who rejected their humanity like himself. He'll let loose the dogs of
Yo,
war.
yo, that looks so
All
fire.
hell will
That's so fire. Holy thumbnail, he is aura farming. Holy moly, that's crazy. That's crazy. Holy aura, dude. Holy aura. That's a thumbnail right there.
sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
Got that dog in him. Just like me, for real.
All right, the combatants
Oh, let's
are
get
set.
it.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's
But
time
first, if you
for
want
the
the same kind of confidence that
battle.
lets you try to take over the world, so
Alright, it's time for a death battle. Ooh, I like this animation. Yo, this is clean. This is fire. Oh shit, the 3D mixed with the pixels. Pixelated. Yo, that's tough. Look at the stats. He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. Dio, he's doing the stats.
Funny, I
Holy.
was just thinking about having mine.
Then by all
Holy.
means, take a bite.
Hey, yeah. Weave. Dang, the combo. Hold up. Damn.
it was I.
Dio?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
My dog. Your dog poop.
Holy. Jeez Louise. Bro, what? Dude, holy moly, dude, holy shit. Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. You were though. Oh, GG's. Whoa! Wait, that transition, that's so fire. That's so cool.
What the hell are you? A real fucking vampire.
Yo, this fight is so cool. I love the transition between like pixels, the pixels and like fucking 3D. It's so cool. Holy moly. Oh my gosh, the freaking river of blood zombies. Yeah, you're cooked. You're cooked, Dio. You're cooked. Yo, this is insane. Ooh. Go, Dio. Go, Dio. Go.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Show's on your own.
Oh my gosh.
I want to rule the world!
What the What? Yo.
Vampire King, bow to your new god!
Holy W voice acting.
Is my name, eating my wings to make me tame.
Yo, this fight is insane. Holy. Ooh. Oh, he ripped his heart out. Holy shit. Let's go. Yo. That's hype. Let's go.
Alucard,
So I was right. I was right. He used the OP time stopping to beat him up. Let's go, WDO. My goat. So
pulled out
not
all
my
the
goat.
stops, but
He's a
like the
monster,
bloody
but
drink, it was
let's
in
go,
vain.
JoJo better.
Finger gun.
He may
Yo.
have been the king of the vampires in Helsing, but Dio had everything he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings. And Alucard wasn't nearly as strong or as fast to compensate.
Alucard could survive crashing that jet and move 1,500 times faster than sound. But scaling from Stone Free and Silver Chariot, the world could punch relativistic meteors and move 1,500 times faster than light. That would make Dio nearly 40,000 times stronger and 800,000 times faster
Oh my god.
than Alucard.
Hell,
He was
Alucard
clicked from
couldn't
the
even
start.
save or hurt the world in the first place because he's not a stand user. And since stone mask vampires from JoJo aren't weak to holy weapons like Helsing vampires are, Al's guns were more or less dead weight.
Plus, Alucard just had no way to get past the time stop. Even if he
Yeah.
did somehow, Dio could just freeze him on contact.
And considering Dio has taken punches from Star Platinum, Hal would have had trouble doing damage even if he got the chance.
Dio's far greater speed and power meant that, given enough time, he could realistically kill Alucard 3 million times in quick succession, without
3 million times? What?
any viable options for attack or
What?
openings to exploit, Alucard's soul-based regeneration meant he would run out of lives eventually, and level 0 only sped up that process.
Sure, that army's nothing to scoff at, but consider the time Dio's eye beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating the size of the clouds and the speed at which they moved, Dio's beams must have output an energy of over 10 megatons of TNT, enough to wipe out Alucard's army in one go, leaving him vulnerable. Just like when this other vampire, Walter, could have killed him by piercing his heart. Alucard's even admitted it himself.
Hell, Alucard's army is filled with blood. You know, that thing that Dio uses to heal? But Wiz, what about Schrodinger? With his powers, Al can't die unless he chooses to.
While Schrodinger's quantum immortality makes him impossible to kill normally, it is literally part of the story that Alucard cannot have Schrodinger's abilities and his greater array of powers at the same time, or else he'll no longer exist. We can't give him both Schrodinger and his standard powers without breaking the lore and rules of the character.
Even if we did, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't help him kill Dio at all, so at best it'd be a stalemate. Until Dio hypnotizes Alucard, asks him about his powers, and forces him to eject Schrody like the rest of his souls.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got Dio-owned!
Let's go.
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
That's right, and you're just gonna have to Dio with it. And hey, wait a minute, that was a pun. That's my territory. We talked about this.
The winner is Dio.
W. My goat. Peak. Holy. Holy moly. W recommendation. Thanks, Meeps. Holy peak. My goat. My goat. Dio won. As I, in the beginning when when they were talking about Alucard's feats, I was a bit nervous for Dio, but then he clutched up. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, guys. See you goofy goobers later.